One of the positive side effects of the oil shock has been the emergence of a culture of trust. Well, at least in the Bay Area, people are dealing with the oil crisis in a variety of ways. Today we're going to look at another one. It's not a new solution. It's one that's been around about as long as there's been cars on the road. But today it's back in fashion. I'm talking about hitchhiking. Not a whole lot has changed. You just stand on the side of the road and hold out your thumb. The only thing that has changed is that the stigma of hitchhiking is gone. And today it's just a way for people who can't afford to drive to get around. And it's also a way for people who can afford to drive to help out. Let's give it a try. Are we hopping in? Good. Yeah. So this is Marcus. He just picked us up. We were hitchhiking. And this beautiful beast here runs on vegetable oil.
I have 2 restaurants where I usually go every week and pick up a few gallons.
You know, I saw this car coming. I'm like, nobody today would be driving a beast like this without some sort of backup system. I mean,
I could not afford certainly.
Yeah. So do you find yourself picking up hitchhikers a lot these days?
Yeah, it's fun. You meet a lot of people. The restaurants I'm going to is you have only a few gallons a week, which makes it possible for me to pick up because a lot of companies started to do that, to collect oil and pay restaurants. And so they usually do not go to restaurants where there's only a few gallons a week. So they go to restaurants where they can pick up, 40 gallons or whatever. Yeah. There was a time when they paid you to pick it up, and then there was this transitional period where it was for free. They were glad that someone would pick it up, but now they caught on and starting to charge. So I bring them an empty container and pick up a full one. Sometimes they have extra containers. Every week I have to, wonder whether someone else will be here before me and have paid more money than I did. So far it's okay. There we go. So here's my oil for this week. It's not light, it's heavy. I'll give them the empty one. I'll pick it up next week. What I'm driving is a so-called 2-tank system. I have the original tank that still runs on diesel, and then I have a second tank for the oil. And what I do is I start on diesel, I drive until it's warm. Like right now it's warm. I switch over. Here you can see a little green light. Yeah. Right now it runs on oil. So that the purpose of starting on diesel is to warm up the engine. So that the engine, the hot coolant, can bring the oil to a certain temperature, so it becomes more viscous and is ready to be used as a fuel. I have 2 filtering stations. One, the main one, is this one. So it's really heavy. So today it's fairly clean. Sometimes I have food and stuff in there. So it gets filtered, and then I pump it out of here through another filter into this one here. And then I roll it to my truck. And so I do that once a week.
It's amazing.
But the latest thing is that restaurants sell their oil, so to speak, as a benefit to working in your restaurant. So if you work in a restaurant, not only you get health care or whatever, but you also get free oil. So that's another thing I have to compete with. So down here's my second tank. And here. sometimes people on the freeway yell at me or are really angry because they're driving there on their $6 a gallon, and they know that I'm paying you maybe $1 or $2 at the most. So I had to put an alarm into my car, even though it's a fairly old car, and under normal circumstances, no thief would ever look at my car. But nowadays, diesels are being stolen a lot. You drive through the streets here, and all these cars, they haven't been driven in months. People just let their cars sit in front of their houses because they, cannot afford to drive anymore.
Well, we got to our destination. It took us a little bit longer, but we met an interesting guy along the way and had a little bit of an adventure as well. So what's the verdict on hitchhiking? Well, it's a way to save money, but it's not what you want to do if you need to get somewhere in a hurry. I'm Cal, and I'll be back.